Alright, so for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at yet another pair of pliers from NWS. These are the 8-inch diagonal cutters, and as you can probably see, they have the 1000-volt or the VDE handles on them. So we'll go ahead and start off by taking a look at the details on the plier. So they have your typical yellow and red color handles, and NWS also throws a little bit of gray on the handles, I guess to break up the yellow and the red combination. Now, if you're unfamiliar with NWS pliers, the majority of their comfort grip and their insulated or VDE handles come with these little tabs on the bottom. Now, they make two attachments for them. They make a tether for if you're working at height, you can tether the tool off so it doesn't fall. And they also make a non-voltage little electrical reader that will clip onto the bottom as well. I know the tether itself is like $2 to $5 depending on where you go, and then with that non-contact voltage tester, it can range from, I think it's like $16 to $20 is where I've seen it. Some places might be a little bit higher than that. Some places might be a little bit lower than that. It all depends on where you get it. So that is a nice feature that NWS does include on not just their VDE pliers, but it also comes with their comfort grip pliers. And now, like most of the NWS pliers that are insulated, a lot of them, if not almost all of them, are chrome plated. It's kind of got that matte finish to it, which is a lot different. And kind of a little bit more, I would say a little bit more rugged looking than just the polished finish that you tend to see on some of the Knipex pliers. It's generally going to most likely do the same job. It just all depends on the way that you want your tool to look, or the way that they want their tool to look. Like I said, NWS decided to go with a matte finish. And if you are unfamiliar with NWS, they are a German made tool. So you're going to have made in Germany stamped in quite a few different places here on the tool. You're going to have it on both handles, and then you're going to have it on this side of the plier. Now, the inside of the handle, you do have some warnings and some certifications that this tool went through to prove that it is 1000-volt rated. Like I've said in previous videos on insulated tools, I believe they test these guys up to 1000 volts, and then they rate them for 1000. So that is fairly nice. And the handles have, you can kind of see it in the video. They have like a weird little design to them where this one's straight and this one has like a little bit of a bow to it. And I think that is to fit into your hands, so it's a lot more comfortable than just, you know, a straight pair. Almost kind of like a little curved handle to them to kind of fit the ergonomics in your hand and feel a little bit better. And then you got power. I guess you can cut through some thicker material, and I think that power might relate to the rivet being that close to your cutting knives. I kind of missed this on the last pair of NWS pliers that I did, which was the combination pliers, the 8-inch combination pliers. It appears NWS, I'm not sure if that's how they stamp their rivets, or what that is exactly for. It's kind of like it's either like a T10 or a T15 Torx. Looks like it would fit into the rivet there. Not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if that's how they stamp the rivets or what that is for. Definitely, you could stick a Torx in there, but I don't think you're going to be tightening anything up because there's nothing to tighten up on the back of the tool. And then while we're looking at the back of the tool, here on the handle, you're going to have your batch number for when the tool was produced and the year. Like I've said before in the past, generally with insulated tools, you get a year, at least a year, for when the tool was made. But in NWS cases, they decided to give you the batch. It looks like the batch number, just in case you have something wrong with it. They can go back and possibly look at their paperwork and see if anybody else has had problems, or if they can expect to have some problems with that batch. But that is pretty much it. These guys can cut through 2.5 millimeter piano wire. Now, I don't have any piano wire. That's not something I typically work with. So the closest thing I have to a harder wire would be some ceiling grid wire. So we'll go ahead and chomp through some of this stuff. And these guys cut through it fantastically. You do have to use a little bit of force to get through it. But you are able to cut that ceiling grid wire up. Now, one thing I do notice when I'm cutting through some harder or some thicker gauge wire is when you are closing down on the handles, it kind of feels like the cutting knives may overlap each other. and then they just kind of slide back into place when you're cut. Like I said, it's really noticeable when you're cutting through some thicker gauge wires. I definitely noticed it with this. Let's see if I can't, maybe I can get it to, no, I can't sort of get it to do it there, but you definitely can feel it, and sometimes you can hear it when you cut through, like I said, some thicker material. So that was with some steel and grid wire. We'll go ahead and bring in some MC right here. This is just a 3-wire MC, and we'll go ahead and chop some of that up. And you definitely gonna have to use, you can use one hand for it, but you're gonna have to make, I would say, a couple cuts to get through the MC. You're not gonna be able to power through it with one cut. You kind of have to do one cut to prime it, and then do that second cut to cut through that. So that was cutting through some MC. And we have just some standard 12 gauge wire, 12 gauge THHN stranded wire, and we'll go ahead and see if these guys are strong enough to strip it. And they strip that wire fairly easily, and then they obviously cut through 12 gauge wire like it's butter. And like I've said in the combination plier video, I believe NWS is a little bit different than most manufacturers, and for the cutting knives, they do, if we can get the camera to focus on them, they do sharpen both cutting knives instead of just one where it's one sharper than the other. So you saw that they were able to strip and chop through that 12 gauge without an issue. So we'll go ahead and bring in some 10 gauge wire and see if we can't have the same results. So we'll go ahead and pull off that insulation, and I don't know if I was able to get it down all the way and cut through there, but you see right there, you are able to strip off the insulation, and you are able to eat through that wire. Go ahead and do that one more time. It's a little bit challenging to strip with these pliers, but you can do it if that's what you are so inclined to do. Instead of just using a pair of wire strippers and you just, maybe this is all you have on you, you can cut through them, and it does cut through that wire without an issue. So that is the NWS 8-inch pair of diagonal cutters. They do make these in a couple different variations. You can get them with the insulated handles, or you can get them with the comfort grip handles. I'm not sure. I haven't explored too many NWS tools if they have them in a dipped handle. I know they offer quite a few different tools with dipped handles, but I think the majority of the pliers that they have either have comfort grips or they have the VDE handles. And if you don't want an 8-inch pair, I believe they also have a little bit larger of a pair. So if you're looking for just a little bit more leverage, you can go with that. I think that pair is a 9-inch pair, so you get a little bit extra leverage and a little bit bigger handle length on them. But with that being said, that's kind of all I have for this video. So as always, there will be a link down in the description below if you are looking to find out some more information about these pliers. It'll take you right on over to the NWS website where you can learn some more information about these guys if you have any more questions or concerns about that. And then I will also leave a couple links in the description below if you would like to pick up a set of these pliers for yourself. So if you want, you can go ahead and check those out. But with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.